Welcome everyone. Today we have our another discussions. We will discuss on IELTS writing as well as we will discuss on some of the context of Industry 4.0, outline of the talk, cloud context, introduction to cloud context, technology context, multi-core, virtualizations, 64-bit processor, parallel computing model, big data storage, cloud model, LAS, PaaS, SaaS, demonstrations of cloud capabilities, cloud model, data and computing model, graph accessibility using Amazon Elastic map reductions, a case study of the real business application of the cloud. Always, as a good student, we have to understand different kind of topic, especially modern topic, because when we attended the IELTS exam, we have to understand, we have to know, we need a deep depth knowledge of any specific topic. Speaker background in the cloud computing has two current things, and most important thing is that for this cloud computing introduction, a golden era in computing, powerful multi-core processor, then general purpose graphic processor, then super software methodologies, then visualization leverage the powerful hardware, wider bandwidth for communications, exploitations of domain application, proliferations of device, cloud concept, enable technologies and model, the cloud context, evolution of internet computing, scale, web, deep web, and time, top 10 largest database, log, CIA, Amazon, YouTube, Quest, Sprint, Google, AT&T, NARCI, and Climate. These are the largest database at present. Challenges. Alignment with the need of the business, user, non-computer specialist, communication and specialty. Need to address the scalability issues, large scale data, high performance computing, automation response, time, rapid prototyping, automation, response time, need to effective address ever short line cycle of obstacles, transform data from diverse source into intelligence and deliver intelligence to the right people. What about providing all things in a real cost effective manner? So these are some of the basic informations at present world. These are some of the very basic things that we need to understand about cloud. So what is the issues? Our major issue that for developing our reading, writing, listening, and spoken, we have to generate our knowledge of different area. So cloud computing is one of them. Then I want to move with other specific topic. Enter the cloud. Cloud computing is internet-based computing whereby shared resources, software, and information are provided to computer and other devices on demand, like the electricity grid. The cloud computing is a culminations of numerous attempts at large-scale computing with seamless access to virtuals, limited less resources. On-demand computing, utility computing, ubiquitous computing, autonomic computing, platform computing, edge computing, elastic computing, grid computing, every aspect we can take many initiative. Grid technology, emerging enabling technology, natural evolutions of distributed system and the internet, middleware supporting network of system to facilitate sharing, standardizations, and openness. Infrastructure and application model dealing with sharing of computer cycle, data, storage, and other resources. Published by prominent industries as on-demand computing, utilities computing, etc. Move towards delivering computing to the massive similar to other utilities. It is changed world now. Explosive growth in application, biomedical information, space exploration, business analytics, Web 2.0 social network, YouTube, Facebook, extreme scale content generation, e-science, e-business data, uh, deluxe. Extraordinary rate of digital content consumptions, exponential growth in computer capabilities, multi-core storage, bandwidth, virtual machine, very short cycle of obsolescence in the technologies, newer architectures, drive knowledge and skill level of the workforce. You simply cannot manage this complex situation with your traditional IT infrastructure. Answer: the cloud computing. Typical requirement and model: platform, software, infrastructure, service-based application program, interface. A cloud computing environment can provide one or more of this requirement for a cost. Pay-as-you-go model of business. When using a public cloud, the model is similar to retain a property then owing once. An organization could also maintain a private cloud and use both. Enable technology, cloud application, data intensive, computing intensive, storage incentives, web service, SOA, standard, verticulation, bare metal, and hyper visions. These are some of the technology right now we are utilizing. Development environment, SDK, plugin, production environment, simple storage, table store drive, management console and monitoring tools, and multi-level security. These are the different things. Now many organizations use Azure enterprise level on demand capacity builders, fabric of cycle and storage available on request for a cast. You have to use Azure API to work with the infrastructure offered by Microsoft. Significant features: web role, worker role, blob storage, table, and drive storage. These are the many interesting aspects you can utilize. Okay. So another important aspects I just want to add for today, and I think Humaira also joined with us today. She also helped us for some of the very important aspects for reading. What we discussed today, anyone can text me. We will discuss academic writing paper. We will discuss academic writing. Okay. So test format and the task. Format and task, strategy and example, further help, reference and question. These are our basic things. Test format. Writing model lasts 60 minutes. Two tasks. One, task number one, 20 minutes, 150 words you have to write. Second task, 40 minutes, 250 words. Words are counted by the examiners, so do not write too many or too few words. Learn how many words you usually write on a learn and how many lines, 150, 250 words, so you do not waste time counting words in the test. Answer must be written on the answer sheet, must be written in full. Notes are not acceptable as answer. Note may be made on the question paper but cannot be taken from the test room. Test format and task. Interpret diagrams or tables and represent the information in your own words. Organize, present, and possibly compare data. Example: money people spend on different forms of entertainment. Describe stage of a procedure or process. The stage of human evaluation. Describe on object or event or series of event. Example: how the water cycle works. Example: how sometimes something works. How a car engine works. Test format. Presented with a point of view or arguments or problem. Present and justify an opinion. Do you think trial by Jury should be used in all criminal case. Compare and contrast evidence. Always you have to go for compare or contrast. Opinion and implications. Let's say you can write essay on how effective is it to reward good works with extra money. Evaluate and challenge idea, evidence or an arguments. Failure shows desire was not strong enough. To what extent do you agree? This is some of the example we can utilize. Test format and task, assessment criteria. So you must respond appropriately in terms of registration, formality, politeness, no short form. Organisms, clear and logical. Style, academic, no extreme opinion. Use tentative expressions such as this appeared to be, this is probably due to content, relevant and complete. So you have to go for an organized idea, must need to be very clear and logical. You need academic style. You cannot go for rhetoric questions, no exclamations, no extreme opinion. Use tentative expressions such as these appear to be content relevant and complete. Recommended material in SEAL. Issue in English CD, Time, Newsweek, and Economics magazine. Consideration for task 1 include task fulfillment, answering the question completely. What is the question you get in the answer paper? You have to give the answer. Coherence. Firstly, secondly, finally. You can go for 1, 2, and 3. Coherence. Cohesions. Example, these, it, he, and, but. Synonyms. These are the synonyms you can use. Vocabulary. Good range. Appropriate. Sentence structure. Concise but not simplistic. Correct use of relative clues. These are the model you can use. I give you an example. Academic writing. Let's say this is an example. Models of transport and years. You should spend about 20 minutes on this task. The graphs below show the different model of transport used to travel to and from work in one European city in 1950, 1970, and 1990. So here are 3 years, 1950, 1970, 1990. You have to go for compare and contrast. Write a report for a university lecture describing the information show. You should write at least 150 words. Academic writing, writing task. Identify the main trend for each mode. Okay, from there you have to identify the trend of each mode. Identify any large increase or decrease. Are there any clear or consistent directions? Does anything seem surprising? Are there any clear relationship between models or percentage? Possible answer for task 1 or full answer. The graph show the percentage of travelers in a European city who use bus, car, bike, foot to communicate to and from work in the years 1950, 1970, 1990. The amount of people using car grew considerably, rising from just over 5% in 1950 to 25% in 1970, then climbing to almost 40% by 1990. However, the amount of people using bikes decreased over 25% of computer cycle in 1950, but this had fallen is less than 10% by 1990s. Similarly, the amount of people who walk to work fell among more than a third in 1950s, about 10% in 1990. This is an example how you can organize your things. The amount of people using buses initially rose in 1970 to about 30% but had dropped to about 70% by 1990. The graph indicate the growing use of car for commuting and the corresponding fall into the popularity of other model for transport since 1950s. These are different type of moods. These are different kind of activities. that you can utilize for your reading, for your writing purpose, because writing is very important aspects, especially for your test. So this is the probable answer. I give it to you. Let's say you can check the graph. The graph below shows the different mode of transport used to travel to and from work in one European city in 1950, 1970, and 1990. Answer: the graph shows the percentage of travelers in a European city who use bus, car, bike, and foot to communicate to and from work in years 1950, 1970, and 1990. Possible answer for task 1. The amount of people using car grew considerably, rising from just over 5% in 1950 to 25% in 1970, and then climbing to almost 40% by 1990s. You see the graph, right? Car actually increasing. The amount of people using buses initially rose in 1970 to about 30%, but had dropped to the about 70% by 1990s. Possible answer for task. The graph indicates the growing use of car for commuting and the corresponding fall in the popularity of other modes of transportations in 1950s. Test format and task. Task 2 is assessed on quality of argument, logic, well considered. Idea and environment support your points, communicative quality, vocabulary, and sentence structure. Example of task 2. Read the question carefully and read it several times. Decide what the focus of task is. The first sentence is sometimes background information, the focus of the essay, and the question come after. For example, some business now say that no one can smoke cigarette in any of their office. Some government have banned smoke in all public places, like Canada. Right, Canada already banned cigarette. This is a good idea, but it takes away some of our freedom. Do you agree or disagree? So when you go for a writing test, you have to go for analyzing. Let's say strategic organization. After you have produced your idea, you need to organize them. Do not produce a list of ideas without development. Decide on the key idea. How many ideas can you cover in 1950 to 2000, 150 to 250 words? Select some supporting points for each key idea in your list. Think about your own experience. Do you have any further point to add? Strategic. Your answer must be complete. Make sure you do not misunderstand the questions. Write about something not required in the question. Answer only half of the topic. Allow some time to think about the question, not drawn clear or relevant idea. Make a brief plan of the organization and content of your answer. Intro: smoking in the business. Smoking in the business, good idea. Smokers may work better if they can smoke. Passive smoking. Take away freedom. Business have the right to limit staff activities. Good idea. Cost of society. Passive smoking, little healthcare benefit. Take away freedom. Government has the right to regulate citizen activities. Will citizens support regulate? Conclusions. This is actually plan. How I can write. This is actually way how I can develop my plan and activities and everything. If you have a proper plan for your write-ups, then you can take your write-up to the next level. Important: give fast impressions, few sentence, introduction, the topic, preference, the main points, define what you understand by the task, show how you intended to approach the task. Strategies. Limitation on smoking in the business and public places are controversial topic, as although they may be a good ideas, they may also interface with the people freedom. Non-smoker are likely to think that banning smoking is a good idea, but smoker naturally may not. Different cultures may have variety attitude to whether business or government have the right to ban smoking in certain places. Strategies. So what will be the strategy like for body? Banning smoking in the business may not be a good idea because smoker may work better if they can smoke. However, passive smoking can cause objective from colleagues. Although such ban may reduce freedom, business are widely seen as having the right to regulate staff activities. Government may also ban smoking in public. This may be a good idea due to the cost to society of smoking, such as little and healthcare. However, smoking in public may also benefit society, for example, in tax revenue and the pleasure to smokers. Also, pressure groups such as tobacco companies may discourage limitation of on smoking. As for freedom, in many cultures, the government has the right to regulate citizen activities. It is also increased possible that citizen would support such ban. The conclusion, importance, opportunity to leave a good impressions. A few sentences summarize your key idea and your main idea. If appropriate, a final decision statement and recommendations also important. So strategies for conclusions. As a non-smoker, I believe that limiting smoking is a workplace and in a public is a good idea. I can also understand the opinion of a smoker that banning smoking in such places limit this freedom. If the effect of smoking were limited to smokers, I would oppose ban, but as smoking affect the health of others, I suppose them. Further help, writing assistance program. So one-to-one helps, and this is very important for you. So this is two of the example how you can utilize your writing skills for getting a good score in IELTS. Do you understand? If you have any question regarding writing, you can ask me. Anyone have any question?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
Can you summarize in a body and in conclusion when you are writing?
Okay. What your question? Can you ask me again, please?
I say, when you were writing, there is some part you mentioned like a body and a conclusion. What
Yes.
what can we put emphasizing in a body and what is going to be in conclusion?
Okay. Okay, very good question. So first thing first, when you get the question, let's say I say
Mm,
banning, I believe banning cigarette is important for healthcare. Okay, so you have to make a plan. What kind of key points, let's say one, two, or three strategies you will take. Let's say why we should ban cigarette. It's harmful for health. It create cancer. It's create a social problem. It's create family problem. Okay, these are the strategy. So this will be the body. You have to analyze why it harmful for health. Why, if we ban cigarettes, if we go for smoking, why it harmful for our body, how it causes cancer, and how it will create impact in our family and in our society. Okay, you have to write in this way. And in the conclusion, it's actually summary. Why I take, let's say if I get chance, I say, okay, I do not like smoking. Okay, so why I do not like smoking based on my four evidence. You have to go for concluding these things. This is the body and this is the
mm,
conclusion of a writing.
writing. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Any other questions? Any other question? Everyone take notes. Humaira, do you have anything you want to share with our students? Can you share something about? Can you unmute, please, Humaira?
Sorry. Hello, everyone. How are you? How are you all?
I think they cannot respond.
Okay. Sorry. So I just want to add something about vocabulary, which is very important in IELTS or
Can
any type of English.
everyone has to mute your mic, please? Okay.
Okay. So are you confident about your vocabulary section?
I think no.
And do you have any idea how to increase your vocabulary part? Okay, Sharif, better I can add some vocabulary list for them.
Mhm.
How can I
I think
give it
we
to
can
them?
next class we can take a class on vocabulary, and we can
Okay.
share vocabulary with them.
Okay, that would be fine.
Next class Monday, same.
Okay.
Actually, I want to shift 1 hour. So 4 p.m. like your 4 p.m. my 10 p.m. Is that okay? Anyone can respond, Mr. Peace or anyone? Mr. Peace, can you respond? We want to start class from, do you understand that we want to start class from next Monday 10 p.m. Malaysia time, I believe 4 p.m. Rwanda. Is that okay?
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. Thank you. So, and next Monday, because Humaira, she give us a advice that we need to improve vocabulary. So we can focus 100% vocabulary, because if we have a good vocabulary, then we can get good score. But remember, for this special course, our target is IELTS 7. So getting IELTS 7 is difficult, and we need to work hard. But I'm sure
Yes,
all of you
we
can
have
do
to
that.
practice a lot to get 7 each. But it's possible. Nothing is impossible, but we should work for it. No alternative.
Okay. So thank you everyone for joining today's session. So
Have a nice weekend, all of you.
yes.
You have weekend on
Thank you.
Saturday, Sunday, right?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, take care.
Take care,
Bye.
everyone.